Hello students, a warm welcome to all of you at AriserTalent. So, we were on this second chapter of the class 9th chemistry, that is about is matter around us pure, and in our previous lecture we have a discussion about the introduction and we have seen that what are the categories we have classified the elements in. So, we have discussed about metals, non-metals and metalloids. So, now we are continuing our lecture, and in our today's lecture we are going to cover the two major topics, that is about the compounds and mixture. Okay. So, our today's discussion is all about compounds and mixtures. So, firstly, let us discuss about the compound. So, we have discussed about the elements. Now, we are moving to our next topic, that is compound. So, compound is a pure substance which is formed by the combination of two or more elements. If I am saying water is a compound, so it is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. So, elements are combining, so we are getting the compounds here. Clear? Now, in case of the compounds, you have a fixed ratio by weight. The ratio must be fixed of two different constituent elements that is taking part in the reaction. So, let us see firstly the definition of compound, and then we will talk about the example for a compound. So, first topic is all about compounds. So, compounds are the pure substance formed by combining two or more different elements. If different elements are combined in two or more than two quantity, you will exactly get a compound here. Okay. Now, the example here is water. Water is a very general example of a compound we are considering here. So, water is having a molecular formula H2O. So, you can see that hydrogen and oxygen are the individual elements, and after combining H2 and O2, we are getting 2H2O. Clear? So, you can see that hydrogen and oxygen is combining in the ratio of 1/8 to give you a water molecule. So, compounds is having a definite ratio. This thing is very important in case of compound. So, water is forming by combining hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1:8. Okay. So, this is how you are getting the compound. Now, compounds can be separated not by any physical means. Suppose if you want to separate hydrogen and oxygen from the water, what you have to do? You have to just pass electric current through it. Suppose this is H2O and this can be separated by passing. This can be separated by passing electric current only. If I pass electric current to water, it will be separated into H2 and O2. Clear? So, this is how you can separate the compound. Now, after the discussion of compound, we have the next category, that is about the type of compound. So, compounds are actually classified into two categories, that is the organic one and the inorganic one. So, we can say that compounds are classified into two categories, that is organic and inorganic one. Now, what are organic compounds? Organic compound is derived from the letter organ, and organ means which is associated with any living being. So, organic compounds are actually those compounds which we are getting from natural sources like plants and animals. If I am getting something from plant, animal or any natural origin, I can say that it is a organic compound. And one more thing about the organic compound is that it must contain carbon as a constituent element. So, organic compounds are sometimes also known as carbon compounds. Suppose I am talking about ethane, methane, propane. These all are the compounds, that is the carbon compounds, and these are actually the organic compounds we are deriving from plant and animal origin. Clear? So, organic compounds we will derive from organic things, and inorganic compounds are those compounds which are obtained from inorganic sources like rocks and minerals. If I am talking about, suppose baking powder, if I am talking about copper sulfate, if we are going to discuss about marble, these all things we are getting from the natural sources, but they are inorganic one, that is rocks and minerals. We are not getting them from plant and animal. So, these will be categorized in the category of the inorganic one. So, let us write here the definition of organic and inorganic compounds. So, next thing is organic compounds. The another name for the organic compound is carbon compound, because it consists of carbon. And these compounds are basically obtained from plants and animals. And what will be the examples in this category? The examples we have are methane, ethane, etc. If we are going to discuss about the inorganic compound, inorganic compounds are the one which we obtain from the artificial sources, or we can say that we are not obtaining from the natural origin. They are basically obtained from rocks and minerals. So, next thing is about inorganic compounds. Those substances which are obtained from rocks and minerals. The substances we are obtaining from rocks and minerals are actually the inorganic one, and examples we have are marble and washing soda. So, this will be the examples of the inorganic category. So, in compounds we have a discussion about the two categories, that is organic one and inorganic one. Now, we are left with our third part, that is about mixtures. Now, what is mixture, what are its category, and what is difference between compound and mixture? Let's discuss here. So, firstly, just copy this part from here. Let's move forward to our next topic, that is about mixtures. So, the next topic is all about Mixtures. Whenever we have started our chapter, we have a very great discussion about the pure substance, and we have seen that everything around is not a pure, anything is not pure around us. If I am considering the soil, in fact soil is going to consist of many kind of the particle. So if anything is not pure, it is definitely going to be a mixture. Now what are mixtures? Mixtures are actually those pure substance which is formed by the combination of any compound, any substance, any element. So they are combining in any ratio to give you the mixture. So mixtures do not have any fixed proportion, and you can separate them easily by using any of the physical means. And again, in this we have two categories here. So firstly, let us write the definition and example for mixture. So what are mixtures? Mixtures are those substances which is formed by combination of any element, substance or any compound. So it may be combination of any. Clear? So it can be formed by the combination of any of these combination it can follow. And the most common example of mixture we have is, suppose soil. Okay, soil will consist of sand, clay, it will consist of the silt particles or marble, any form of the things it can consist of. If I am about air, if I am considering here air, air is a mixture of many gases. You can see that in our environment, carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, along with water vapor, dust particle and few inert gases are also present. So I can say that air is a mixture because it consists of different type of the compounds in the atmosphere. So these are the basic examples for the mixture. Now mixtures are again categorized into two categories, that is the homogeneous one and the heterogeneous one. So in mixture again we have two categories that I am defining here. Mixture are of two types. The first one is homogeneous and the second one is heterogeneous. This is the classification of the mixtures you have. So we have two category of the mixtures, that is the homogeneous one and the heterogeneous one. Now the word homo, homo means same. If all the particles are uniformly distributed, I can say that the mixture is a homogeneous mixture. But if the constituent particles are not uniformly distributed, we can say that the mixture will be the heterogeneous mixture. Suppose we are talking about any alloy. You know that alloy is a combination of metal. So it may be either the combination of brass and copper, bronze and copper. So these are the metal you have. So if you can see that something is a combination of uniformly united substance, so it may be the homogeneous mixture. If different constituents are present, it may be the heterogeneous mixture. Now you can separate the mixture by the physical means, but compounds cannot be separated by the chemical means, and they do not have any fixed definite ratio. You can take any ratio to form the mixture. So these two properties you have to keep in mind, that they do not have a definite ratio and you can easily separate them by any of the physical means. So now let's move to the first category, that is about homogeneous mixtures. So the word homo means same, so it will be the same type of the particles. The mixtures in which constituent particles are uniformly distributed. If the particles are uniformly distributed, we can say that the mixture will be the homogeneous one. So for the homogeneous composition, Let us take an example of alloy. Alloy will be the combination of metal and metal. So you have the same type of the constituent particle because alloy is formed by the combination of metal plus metal. Okay, so this is the alloy. If I am considering the brass as an alloy, so brass is actually a combination of copper and zinc and they both are metals. So let us take an example here, that is brass. Brass will be copper plus zinc. So you can see that this is a homogeneous mixture you have. Clear? Now, the next category is all about the heterogeneous mixture. Now, what are heterogeneous mixture? In which the composition is not uniform. Clear? So, let us discuss about the heterogeneous mixture here. Heterogeneous mixtures are those mixtures in which the particles are not distributed uniformly. So, these are the mixtures in which the particles are not distributed uniformly. Clear? So, there will be a no exact distribution of the particles. If I am considering the example of heterogeneous mixture, I can again consider the air as an example. There are so many examples in our day-to-day life you can consider for the heterogeneous mixture. Suppose you are mixing, I am considering the milk. Milk is exactly a combination if some water is added. So, these are the liquid, so it can be counted in the category of the homogeneous one. But you can see that along with the gases, some water vapor is also present in the atmosphere. So, this can be counted as a heterogeneous mixture. So, air is basically a heterogeneous mixture. Example I am considering here a air, because along with the gases there is water vapor too. So, the distribution is not uniform here. So, I can say that air is an example of heterogeneous mixture and alloy is an example of homogeneous one. We can consider many more examples from our day-to-day life regarding the mixture. Okay. So, in our today's lecture, we have basically dealt with the mixture and the compound and its both categories. Now, our next lecture will be all about the type of the solution and what exactly the solution is. So, this lecture is all over for today. Thank you so much and have a nice day.